welcome you. Get ready to unlock some really powerful insights today.
We're diving into self-directed learning, specifically how someone actually mastered English, all from home.
Yeah, we've got this amazing personal account. It's more than just a story.
It really is. It's like a practical guide, isn't it? The steps, the struggles, and crucially, the mindset needed.
Exactly. And our mission here isn't just to, talk about it.
No, it's about pulling out the strategies, the wisdom you can use.
Right. So you can take these ideas and apply them to learning, well, pretty much anything new. A skill, a language, whatever. Okay, let's dig in.
So the journey kicks off kind of quietly. Chapter 1, My First Day Speaking English Alone. It really paints a picture of that initial feeling.
That aloneness, yeah. Maybe even a bit of fear. Starting something new often feels like that.
Definitely. That line, I am at home, I am alone, and I am afraid. Wow, that hits home, doesn't it? Standing on the edge.
It really does. But the powerful thing is just starting. Even with super basic stuff.
Right. Like the author just looking around, naming things. This is a table, this is a chair.
Seems so simple.
It does, but it's about breaking that inertia. Just actively doing something, no matter how small it feels. Engaging.
And then talking to themselves in the mirror. Hello, how are you?
A bit awkward, maybe.
Sure, feels weird at first. But it's such a safe way to just start making the sounds, getting comfortable, building confidence step by step.
And what's really interesting is how quickly mistakes are accepted, like right away.
Oh yeah, the author says, at first, I make many mistakes, but I don't stop. That's huge.
It's a critical mindset, isn't it? Not aiming for perfection right out of the gate.
Exactly, just embracing the messiness of learning. Mistakes aren't failures, they're just part of it.
Stepping stones, really, not roadblocks.
Which is so relevant for anyone starting anything new, right?
Yeah.
That feeling of, oh, I'm not good at this yet can just paralyze you.
But this shows the power of just that first tiny, maybe imperfect step.
Okay, so after starting alone, what's next? Listening.
Yes. Chapter 2, Listening Like a Child. That's a great analogy.
How babies learn, right? Just
That's-
soaking it all in.
Precisely. Constant immersion in sound. The strategy here is surrounding yourself with English audio. Like those slow English stories, podcasts, or easy YouTube chats.
And the point isn't necessarily to understand every single word immediately.
Not at first, no. It's more about catching the rhythm, the music of the language, the sounds, training your ear.
Like passive learning, almost.
You could say that.
Yeah.
It taps into how our brains naturally pick up patterns without conscious effort, just through exposure.
And you can do it anytime. While cooking, cleaning, on your walk.
Making it part of your routine, yeah. It stops being a study session and becomes more of a background absorption.
That seems way less daunting.
And the payoff described is pretty amazing, eventually starting to think in English.
Bypassing the translation step.
Exactly. That's a major leap in fluency.
Okay.
So for you, listening, maybe this kind of passive soaking up could help you get familiar with the basics of any new subject you're tackling.
Makes sense. Just getting the sound of it first. Okay, so from listening, the author moves to reading.
Right. Chapter 3, Reading That Changed My Life. And again, the key is simplicity. Easy English stories.
Not diving into Shakespeare on day 2.
Definitely not. The focus is on enjoyment, understanding simple sentences, building momentum.
And this helps with vocabulary without rote memorization, it says.
Yeah, that's a fascinating point. Words appear in context in different stories, like the example of walk.
Oh, right. Every time I see the word, it becomes stronger in my mind.
Your brain just sort of remembers it naturally because it sees it used meaningfully. Much less painful than flashcards for many people.
Way less pressure. It just happens organically.
And using a dictionary is fine for unknown words, but the advice is not to get bogged down.
Look it up, get the gist, move on, keep the flow going.
Exactly. Keep the enjoyment factor high.
And reading aloud, even just to yourself.
Yep, another practical tip. Connects the written word to the spoken sound. Helps with fluency down the line, even if pronunciation isn't perfect yet.
So, thinking about you listening. If you're trying to learn new terms in any field, maybe finding some simple, easy-to-read stuff about it could be a good way in. Build that basic familiarity.
Worth trying, definitely. Then comes Chapter 4, Shadowing Without Fear.
Shadowing. Okay, this sounds a bit more active. What is it exactly?
It's basically listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say, almost at the same time, like an echo.
Mimicking everything. Pronunciation, tone.
Yeah, the rhythm, the intonation, the sounds. Trying to copy it as closely as possible.
Okay, I can see why the chapter title includes Without Fear. Sounds intimidating?
It can feel that way, but the author stresses doing it alone.
Hmm.
No audience, no judgment.
Right, safe space. And starting small
No.
helps.
Short clips, maybe with subtitles at first, then building up.
And the benefit is?
Better pronunciation,
Yeah.
definitely. But also getting that natural flow, sounding less textbook, more like natural speech.
So it trains your mouth and your ear.
Exactly. You start noticing and reproducing those little nuances. So for you, if you want to not just know stuff, but also talk about it effectively in a new area,
Mm-hmm.
could shadowing experts help? Repeating key phrases.
Interesting idea. Internalizing the language of the field. Okay, what's next? Talking to myself.
Chapter 5. Yes, talking to myself in English might sound odd.
A little bit, but effective.
Apparently, yes. The big advantage is zero pressure. You can just talk, experiment, mess up. Nobody cares.
So like narrating your day. I am pouring coffee now.
That kind of thing, yeah. Or role-playing conversations in your head, or just thinking things through in English.
It becomes your own private practice zone.
Totally. You can try out words, sentence structures without feeling self-conscious. It really builds that internal comfort.
And confidence, presumably, the author mentions, it helps you think in English more naturally.
Which is the goal, right?
Yeah.
So if you're grappling with new ideas, maybe trying to explain them to yourself, even silently, could help lock them in, make them clearer.
Worth considering. Okay, technology must play a role too.
It does. Chapter 6. Using technology smartly. The key word being smartly.
Not just endless scrolling.
Right. It's about intentional use. Simple things like changing your phone language to English, constant low-level immersion,
Okay, that's easy enough.
and using specific tools, vocabulary apps, pronunciation apps, watching easy English YouTube videos.
Voice typing, dictionary apps.
Yep, using them strategically. But there's a warning too.
Don't lean too heavily on translation tools.
Exactly. The goal is to learn, to internalize, not just find a quick fix. Understanding versus translating.
Makes sense. So use tech with purpose, set aside time for it, avoid distractions.
That's the core message, intentionality. So thinking about your own digital habits, how could you use tech more deliberately for your learning goals?
Good question for everyone. All right, moving towards wrapping up the strategies, habits seem important.
Crucial. Chapter 7, creating English habits at home. It really hammers home the power of small, consistent daily actions.
Not huge, overwhelming study blocks.
No. Think tiny habits. Read one paragraph in the morning. Listen while you cook dinner. Think in English on your walk. Watch one short video before bed.
Label things around the house, maybe?
That's another example, yeah. Things you can actually stick with.
Because consistency beats intensity.
That's the mantra. 5 minutes a day is better than 1 hour once a week. It's about that compound effect over time.
And that applies to learning anything. Break it down, do a little bit often.
It's the foundation for long-term progress. So what's one small habit you could realistically start today for your goals?
Something to ponder. Finally, the journey doesn't really end, does it?
Chapter 8. Learning never stops at home. It ties it all together. Learning is ongoing.
And you can make real progress with these small, steady efforts. You have control.
You do. And the idea of self-reflection comes up too. Keeping a journal, maybe recording yourself speak.
Tracking progress, seeing how far you've come, identifying where to focus next.
And just reinforcing that core message. Embrace the mistakes, trust the process. It's a journey.
It really is. Okay, so let's try and summarize the big takeaways from this deep dive.
Well, number 1 seems to be just starting. Overcoming that initial hesitation, even alone.
Yeah, courage to take step 1, then consistent listening and reading, enjoying it, not making it a chore. Passive absorption first.
Right. Then active practice, like shadowing to get the sounds right, and self-talk to build fluency and confidence.
Using tech smartly, deliberately, not getting lost in it.
And underpinning it all, those small, sustainable daily habits.
Yeah.
That seems to be the real engine.
Consistency is king.
Oh, queen. So, building on the author's final question, thinking about your own goals, what's that one small, consistent habit you could start? Like today.
Seriously consider that. Maybe even tell someone, make it real.
Because you absolutely can learn and grow on your own terms.
We really believe that. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.